Wearing the same outfits, jogging with a beast, spending ample time with family, and reciting Mai Shebeirach, a Jewish prayer for healing and blessings, are some of the recurring events included in Mark Zuckerberg's everyday life. As the founder and CEO of Meta, a multinational technology conglomerate formerly known as Facebook, Zuckerberg has a lot of responsibilities to grapple with. Quite often, more than what an average human can handle. However, his well-structured daily routine helps him deliver on all fronts. Today we're taking a sneak peek at a day in the life of Mark Zuckerberg. There are more mysteries about this American social media magnate than you can imagine. Does he really jog with a beast? What's his morning routine like? And why does he wear the same outfits every day? We'll unravel these and many more in the course of this video. But first, here's a little background story of the soft-spoken billionaire and how he built his massive social media empire. Born on May 14, 1984, Mark Zuckerberg is part of an enviable list of ultra-successful entrepreneurs who dropped out of Harvard to pursue their dream. He was fascinated by computer programs as a kid, which prompted his parents to hire a private programming tutor for him. And that seemed to pay off in the long run. At the age of 12, he built ZuckNet, an exclusive messaging app used by his family. Zuckerberg was already a well-known tech prodigy before he got into Harvard University, and during his 2-year stint at the Ivy League institution, he impressed many with his programming abilities. The Synapse Media Player, a user-friendly program that uses machine learning to suggest songs to listeners based on their musical preferences, was next on his list of innovations. This was in the year 2000, and at the time Microsoft and AOL offered to hire him and purchase the media player. However, Mark Zuckerberg turned down both offers and made the software available to users for free. In his sophomore year at Harvard, Zuckerberg invented 2 programs called Course Match and Face Mash. Both applications performed exceptionally well, but the school authority banned Face Mash due to privacy issues. However, it is widely believed that Face Mash laid the foundation for Mark Zuckerberg's next and most significant piece of invention, called the Facebook. In 2004, it was renamed Facebook, and late in 2021, the company changed its name to Meta. I'm proud to share that our company is now Meta. Our mission remains the same, it's still about bringing people together. Our apps and their brands aren't changing either, Zuckerberg said in a founder's letter. From now on, we will be Metaverse first, not Facebook first. So, let's find out how he spends his day. What's Mark Zuckerberg's sleep and morning routine like? Zuckerberg doesn't have a strict bedtime schedule, but on average he sleeps for 7 to 8 hours per day, typically waking up at 8 a.m. In comparison, another prominent Harvard dropout, Bill Gates, reportedly goes to bed at midnight and wakes up at 7 a.m. to complete 7 hours of sleep daily. As soon as Mark Zuckerberg is awake, he immediately adds to Meta's daily internet traffic by visiting Facebook, WhatsApp, and Facebook Messenger even before he wears his contact lens. This exercise would generally take a few minutes, although it could take much longer depending on how events unfold. It's a pretty sad situation, to be honest. I have contacts and I can't see very well, and before I even put my contacts in, I often look to see what's going on Facebook, Zuckerberg said during a question and answer session organized by Facebook. When he's done consuming content on his social media platforms, it's time to sweat it out. Zuckerberg enjoys working out in the morning, preferably 3 times a week, and sometimes even with his adorable Hungarian sheepdog named Beast. Staying in shape is very important. Doing anything well requires energy, and you just have a lot more energy when you're fit, Mark Zuckerberg said. We cannot dispute his claim because a consortium of other successful entrepreneurs, such as Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, Dallas Maverick owner Mark Cuban, and Oprah Winfrey all subscribe to this school of thought. The Meta boss also adds that running with his dog comes with an extra incentive, or added bonus of being hilarious, because it's basically like seeing a mop run. Up next for Zuckerberg is breakfast. The New York-born tech genius eats whatever is made available by his wife Priscilla Chan, whom he met during a short stint at Harvard. Unlike her husband though, Priscilla graduated from the institution with a BSc degree in biology. Now it's time to get dressed and leave for work. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg suffers from what psychologists call decision fatigue. Successful business and political leaders make tons of decisions every day. This can be really tiring as it requires a lot of mental energy. So Zuckerberg adopts the same fashion style as former US President Barack Obama and late Apple founder Steve Jobs, who generally wore identical outfits every single day of the week. During Obama's time at the White House, he'd usually wear a blue or grey suit. Meanwhile, Steve Jobs always wore a black turtleneck and blue jeans, and this became his signature outfit. "You'll see I wear only grey or blue suits," Obama said in 2012. "I'm trying to power down my decisions. I don't want to make decisions about what I'm eating or wearing, because I have too many other decisions to make." For Zuckerberg, a customized grey t-shirt from Italian designer Brunello Cucinelli, blue jeans and sneakers is enough to do the magic. "I really want to clear my life to make it so that I have to make as few decisions as possible about anything except how to best serve this community," Mark Zuckerberg said. "I'm in this really lucky position where I get to wake up every day and help serve more than 1 billion people, and I feel like I'm not doing my job if I spend any of my energy on things that are silly or frivolous about my life." How many hours does he work per week? Mark Zuckerberg's working hours limit is above the US average working hours, but it's quite reasonable when compared to some of the world's biggest entrepreneurs. Elon Musk, for instance, spends about 80 to 100 hours weekly at Tesla and SpaceX factories. Zuckerberg, on the other hand, works between 50 to 60 hours at Meta every week. However, CNN reports that he spends quite a lot of time pondering about the platform. "I spend most of my time thinking about how to connect the world and serve our community better, but a lot of that time isn't in our office or meeting with people or doing what you'd call real work," Zuckerberg said. A special team of 12 employees helps Mark Zuckerberg to manage his social media accounts, deleting erroneous posts and sending out updates. Meetings. Facebook's chief operating officer, Sheryl Sandberg, gave out Zuckerberg's meeting strategy a while ago. According to Sandberg, Mark Zuckerberg tells employees to send materials in advance before meetings. This would help him prepare ahead. After the close of work, Mark Zuckerberg retires to his $37 million 5-house property. The 5,617 acres parcel is equipped with Jarvis, an artificial intelligence virtual assistant built by Zuckerberg. Jarvis can make toast, play music or movies, control lights and doors, set up virtual meetings, and remind Mark Zuckerberg about his activities for the day. Sometime in 2017, during a commencement speech at Harvard, the IT genius said he recites My Shabarach, a Jewish prayer for healing when faced with difficulties. "I'm reminded of a prayer, My Shabarach, that I say whenever I face a big challenge," he said, adding that he sings it to his daughter before bedtime at night. Zuckerberg now has 2 daughters, Max and August. Right before we reveal some interesting facts about Zuckerberg and his family, if you've made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Did you know that Mark Zuckerberg's dog, the Beast, has over 2.5 million followers on Facebook? In 2015, the tech entrepreneur and his wife signed on to the Giving Pledge program, a philanthropy initiative that encourages affluent people to donate 99% of their wealth to charity. Zuckerberg likes to set challenging goals for himself, and he is known to have some very daring hobbies. In 2015, he attempted to read a book every 2 weeks. He's currently learning Mandarin and has a laser gun permit. He has a likeness for throwing spears too. Since 2013, Mark Zuckerberg has been Meta's lowest earning staff member with an annual salary of $1. However, his compensation is usually in excess of $20 million. Quite interesting, if you ask me. It's your turn now. What interests you the most about Mark Zuckerberg's daily routine and all-round lifestyle? Do you think you can deal with his workload and successfully run his over $900 billion social media empire? Let us know in the comment section. Be sure to check out this video over here, Space Tourism, everything you need to know.